Okay. Okay. There's something that I have been wanting to talk about for a long time, but I noticed that by me bringing it up and being that I'm a woman, it might hit a nerve with other women, professional women, because I'm in the professional field. But being that I have had my experience over a period of years um, working in a professional setting, um, my feelings is this: if you are a woman and you have a position or a chance for a position, I think there should be an annual. Now I know they do annual competency tests on people in the office or wherever, annually everywhere, just to see how your brain is going and if you're able to comprehend what you're doing. I know that. But I think for women in a professional setting, especially, and I don't think that's really discriminating because, I mean, men and women, I mean, there's some things about us that's kind of similar. I mean, they get emotional too, just like we do. They may handle it differently. But if you are a woman, I think we need to get some psychological workups done annually. Now, I think that should be done annually because you could be working with, excuse me, a nutcase, and you may not even, be able to do anything about it. There are people out there who are not completely diagnosed, people out there who are not diagnosed, and they need to be diagnosed. And I think they need like a psychological workup done on them before starting a job and annually while working a job, because things can happen in our lives as we are going back and forth home, and thing crisis come up in our lives, and maybe you never know how it has marked the person, and they're going back and forth to work, and their personality may have been damaged in some sort of way. So believe me, I mean, I'm only speaking from observation and experience with people that I have worked with. And then the scarier part is, what if they have a position? Now you got a crazy person, a crazy woman that you're working with who is in charge of you. Um, I think it should be a law where women should really get a psychological workup done to make sure that they still got all their marbles. And, because otherwise, if you don't know, if you're just walking around thinking that Susu is good and, or, some people can work with Susu and some people can't work with Susu. And the ones who feel like they can't work with Susu, it might be more than just a slight, whatever to work with her. It might be almost a hostile environment to work with her. I don't think it's fair for you to have to work with her because maybe a smaller percentage or maybe a half the percentage in the workplace can work with her. Maybe something about you that ticks off Susu. and you just coming to work every day minding your business. You ain't did nothing, but that chick is crazy. I mean, one thing I can say, I mean, because even in my own family, I have said it, and I don't think I've really ever been ashamed of it. It's just that I didn't know it or recognize it as a kid. But coming up, I began to notice certain people in my relative family, they're not wrapped too tight either. And I think it's important that we, as people in the human race, stop thinking, oh, Uncle Joe is okay. That's just the way he is. He's always like that. Or, oh, my brother's like this. Or my sister, oh, she always acts out. She's been doing that for X amount of years. That's just the way she is. You hear that a lot. And then we begin to get comfortable with that statement. It's not comfortable. It's not, and then you begin to wonder why they can't succeed any further than where they have, why they can't, shoot, we're talking just getting a job. Somebody just can't seem to hold a job because there's always somebody else at the job that's getting on their nerves. Everybody, that person has a problem with everybody and nobody has a problem with them, but they may, if they're crazy. But there's a reason behind a lot of that. And not to mention, I mean, bad enough, a lot of us as women anyway, we go through a lot of emotional things anyway. That's just common because our hormones, and then as we get older, things progress with our hormones, and we get very emotional more than we had before. Not just during the time of not just during the time of going through a period, month to month, but then when we get into that premenopausal stage in our 30s and start going from 30s, in the decade later, our 40s and our 50s and onwards, now we're hit postmenopausal. Well, we can get a little cray too, but add that, tack that on with someone who has a genetic problem from birth that has never been diagnosed, and I'm not really one to be talking about medicating people, everybody who's who not emotionally or mentally stable, because a lot of these meds out here are not really doing anything for people and making them crazier. But I just have to put this out there because these are the same people that we're going to work with every day, and they are causing a lot of havoc just for you to come to work and get through your day. And if you're someone, hey, like myself, like I said, I grew up watching some family members, and it's like the light bulb got brighter for me as I got in my 20s. I began to see that they have a problem. They have a problem. I don't know, my screen just did something crazy. I don't know if y'all saw me or not. But that's my thing. I just think, I just have to put this out here, and I know I'm not the only one feel this way. Like I say, we have a high percentage in today's society who are just walking the earth, and as quickly as we are to say, oh, what's that person out there, pushing a shopping cart in the street, and here it is cold outside. Being honest with you, a lot of people that are out there that are homeless, please take my word for it. A lot of them out there, they are not out there because they're on drugs. This economy, not to jump off into another subject, but this economy has taken us to a whole new level anyway now. And people are out there really trying to survive. there's a bigger percentage of that than the drug problem itself. Now, maybe someone is trying to lubricate with alcohol or, um, douse with pills to dilute the problem that's there, and they can't get a job or whatever, and just to hibernate what's really going on, because that can bring a person down completely to a substance too, to dependency, not being able to work and not having a roof over their head. But a lot of people out there are not on drugs. But at the same time, you got a lot of mentally ill people out there too, and you got another percentage of that who are mentally ill. Let me stay on the subject. Who are out there, and you'd be shocked that they don't have to be. They got families who've tried to, take them in or whatever, and they choose, because of their mental stability, they choose to be out there, running with a crowd. They really kind of, it's like it runs neck and neck. You got a mental instability, and then you feel like people don't understand you with that, because you find a lot of them that have it, then they begin to say, oh yeah, something's wrong with you, you don't understand me. And then it's interesting how they find the common derelicts out there to keep company with, because they have this attitude about being rebellious, and therefore there's a common interest with the mental person who has a mental problem, who feel like their family and friends don't understand them, and so they find solace with a derelict out there. And then they what they say, birds of a feather, you hanging with that sort of crowd or whatever. Now you got a person with a mental instability, and now they're taking drugs. So, but for the working ones that are not diagnosed and they are working on a job, start paying attention to them. And a lot of them are these women. I mean, I have worked with some women who are not wrapped too tight. I have also been an employee of women who have been over me as a boss. And it's like the most miserable situation any woman can be in, just to get through a day. So, just got to put that out there. I'm sure I'm not the only one who is in that situation. Well, was in that situation. But like I said, I've had a history of noticing it. And it's just really, sometimes you just sit there and have an aha moment. And then you like, wow, I think I know what's going on now. Yeah, with these people. But I really think that to solve a lot of these problems, we can, even though you cannot diagnose someone yourself, but you can hit a nail on the head with perhaps something that's not right there. And if they're working and you're an employee, if the boss happens to know that they're not passing the competency test, if they're not passing the psychological test, and they're still, and the answers are kind of odd how they're answering them, then there's got to be something there that they should start focusing in on. And how are you working with this person? Are they working with everyone, getting along? Why is it that you're not getting along with, I mean, I know we can't all get along with everybody, but why is it that this person not getting along with a few people? Not even a few people. So anyway, something to think about, guys. Okay. I will be back with some more aha moments I'm thinking about, and talk to you later.